So in your kit you're going to get 4 of these stick and stitch labels. They'll have at the top where they're actually supposed to go on the pump. So this one is the right hand foot and the inner side. So it's this shoe here, and what you need to do is look, there's a shorter end and there's a taller end. So the taller end will go at the back and the short end will go at the front. This is the same for all of the patches, and then you want to cut at the bottom edge, and then this is going to go along the edge of the shoe like so. If you've got quite small feet and they're a lot shorter, just miss off the end, cut off one of those circles. Or if you're doing it for children's shoes, it's the same. Just peel back the sticker, so, and place it on the shoe. So it's going to be difficult to stitch here. Can you see the stitching line that's already there? So we want to place the first patch or the first circle to be embroidered, or whatever the design is on the patch, just behind that. And also the same for the heel. This is going to be difficult to stitch because it's very, very thick strengthening fabrics inside. So we want to keep to where the canvas is quite light and easy to stitch. So now you get going, and yep, just stitch as usual. You can either work from the top and do the traditional method without any knots. There's a video that shows you how to do that, or you can work from the inside, and just as you're starting, lift up the sole and do your first stitch underneath the sole there, and then take the thread up to where the first circle is going to be. That way you don't get any knots. Also, I strongly recommend taking the laces out. This gives you really good access and it's much easier to stitch. So you're ready to go. Lovely, so we're going to get stitching. We've stuck our patch on and take the laces out of the shoe, and then I find it's really easy to roll up the tongue and push it into the toe. Then it's really out of the way, got lots of space to work. And threading the needle, I've split the embroidery floss into 2 sections of 3 strands in each, and then I fold it double. And this way you get 6 strands, which is the same as this, so you get a really lovely thick finish. You really see the colour well on the shoe once you're finished. So we don't want lots of knots inside because then it's going to be really uncomfortable to wear. So I found there are a few techniques to use. I'm just going to show you one. So where your foot sits, there's like a little gap. So we're going to try and use that little gap to place any of the knots that we need. So I will start my stitching with a long loose tail, and then I'm going to tuck that in. Let me show you. So we're just going to do the little rainbow bit now. So I'm going to put my needle through the first stitch and pull it through, and then you see the tail at the end. I'm just going to leave a really long tail. You can tie a knot if you wish. I'm just going to tuck that away, hold it in position, and then at the end I'm going to knot them all together and keep it underneath the sole of the shoe so that all the knots are out of the way. And then just carry on stitching. It's quite firm to push through canvas, but this way of doing the thread makes it so much easier to work. If you're finding it really hard to push through, use a thimble to push the needle through. So that's it. And then when you've finished on the other end, again we repeat exactly the same thing. Cut a really long tail and just tuck it underneath the sole of the shoe, and if you can't lift the sole, then just slide it down the edge, and you can actually use some iron-on interfacing at the end that will catch all of the threads, or you can just plait them together with stitches and make sure that they're just lying flat, that's all. Yeah, I think that's it. If you really find that too difficult, you can do a little knot and just start at the bottom. It's better to have it secure. You don't want it falling out when you're wearing it, especially all the work you've put into it. So yeah, make it safe, make it secure.